Hi, this is Jonathan Tweed. I was the lead designer on 3rd edition, and you are listening to Morrus's Unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk.
This week, Morrus, PJ, and Jessica have a preview of the upcoming Voidrunner's Codex for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. In the news, the 2024 Dungeons & Dragons rolls will be in the SRD, 15th Age 2nd Edition is live on Kickstarter, Critical Role launches a new streaming service Beacon, and more! Plus, a brand new sketch about a ranger with an unconventional animal companion. This week on Morrus's Unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk.
This week's podcast is sponsored by Jolly Bodger's Piratical Outfitters, who offer a wide range of parrots, wooden legs, cutlasses, eye patches, tricorns, and beard beads. Whether you're a buccaneer, privateer, or tyrannical scourge of the seas, Jolly Bodger has you covered. It seems to me that the young people have started dressing as pirates recently. They seem to consider it fashionable to wear eye patches and ridiculous hats. What's wrong with a simple robe with gold lace filigree and a vaulted collar? That's what I want to know.
For the tabletop role-playing news, we aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's Unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk.
Hello, and welcome to Morrus's Unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk. I am Russ, aka Morrus, or Morrus, aka Russ, and with me this week is...
PJ Coffee from the Southampton Guild of Roleplayers. I'm Russ, as ever, it is a delight to be here. And joining us now for the nth consecutive month, where N is a significantly large number. Some say that she knows exactly how lumpy a dog is. I don't know, but it's true. It's the one. It's the only.
It's me, Jessica from EM Publishing. Prior to recording, we were discussing my dog's health, and he is an old dog.
I wonder if we should just leave some of these things without context.
I
felt that one needed context. My dog has a lump on his leg. He's fine, but he's going to get it removed.
Yeah.
Because he's just, I think that happens with dogs. They get to a certain age and they just get a bit lumpy sometimes. And usually it's fine. But anyway, and that's what we're talking about. But to steer the conversation back to tabletop RPGs, because perhaps that's why people tuned in. And people have been
You
playing
think
any
they
game.
haven't tuned in to hear the latest updates on your dog's lumps?
My dog. Well, some people do. Some people care about my dog a lot.
His lovely Django lumps.
So, yeah, Django's doing great. But no, to steer it back to tabletop RPGs, I was going to ask if people are folks, specifically folks, you two, have played any tabletop RPGs this week. What you've been playing, what you've been doing.
I haven't actually played any tabletop RPGs this week.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not a single one.
Oh. What about you, PJ?
No. Sad.
Oh, well, it's been a quiet week. I have played some Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. It's been quite exciting.
Classic, yeah.
We got into one of those old D&D classics, a Barbel.
Mm-hmm.
And what can I say? The sleep spell remains good. Ha, lol. But yeah, I wasn't able to sleep more. Didn't mean I didn't try, though.
I had a sleep spell cast on me yesterday by the dentist. that worked too.
Also finish off a Delta Green campaign. Because stories should have endings, yes.
They should.
Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't too bad. This ended on a slightly unresolved mystery with no one died, so that was good.
Oh.
One of us went to prison, and one of us went and fled across the other side of the country.
And just to clarify, is this characters or players?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, characters, that's right.
Yeah, because, sometimes, campaigns can get
Sometimes
wild.
a game really does go wrong.
Yeah, sometimes games go wrong and someone ends up in prison. We've all had those campaigns.
Look, it would have been fine, right, except for, moving the coffin from one storage locker to another. That's what really did us in.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I had a little bit of Warhammer Fantasy roleplay this last week, or Wine Merchant Simulator, as my party is now calling it, because that's what we've become.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, we're having a great time.
Do you have a spreadsheet?
We do, not a spreadsheet, but we do have a document where we are tracking everything. But we do tend to buy a whole load of one thing, go to the next port, sell it and buy the next thing. So it doesn't quite need spreadsheet levels. But yes, we are
You could help me design the trading system for Voidrunner's Codex then.
I'm not the person that documents this, but the person who is Mark Kenobi, who is a game designer, so I'm sure if you ask nicely,
Maybe I'll discuss it with him when I see him at UK Games Expo then.
Exactly, because Mark is coming to the UK Games Expo because he is also designed Split the Horde, which we are demonstrating there. So you can chat to him about it then. But yeah, so I did a bit of Warhammer Fantasy, and I also had an impromptu game run because I had some people over and we're having, because the sun appeared in the UK. We had a little barbecue and we were getting some board games out, and then someone said, "Oh, maybe we should play a TTRPG," and I was like, "I can pull a one shot out of nowhere." So I ran a bit of 10 Candles because that's my system of I have nothing prepared.
Yeah.
So I ran a bit of that. Everybody died, which was the goal. So yeah, and nothing was set on fire. The fire alarm did go off at like midnight.
Apart from the candles, presumably.
The candles were on fire, yeah.
Yes,
the fire alarm did go off accidentally at midnight, which probably was quite annoying for neighbours. But, you know, it was bank holiday weekend, so...
Anyway, we should get on with some news, shouldn't we?
So, there's a lot of SRD news this week. Russ, do you want to... Should we start with that? Yes.
We can start with some SRDs, if you like. We should start with, which SRD is your favourite of the two SRDs that you'd like to start with?
Oh, two.
If I had to pick one, I'd pick Kobold Press.
Okay, so the Kobold Press has released the system reference document for their Black Flag system.
Oh.
So that's the system that powers Tales of the Valiant and other things. And this is their alternate 5e, which they launched kind of as a reaction to that whole open gaming license thing last year. I'm sure every listener knows this, but there might be a newer listener that doesn't. So Tales of the Valiant, powered by the Black Flag system, is basically their open gaming license free version of D&D 5e. I think that's the best way to describe it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the idea was that if you wanted to play D&D 5e, but you don't want to give Beach Magicians your money, here is an option for you.
Exactly. So this contains the content from the Tales of the Valiant, I believe, like their player's handbook or whatever they call that specific book, because it includes like lineages, heritage, classes, spells. It's got some monsters and things in there as well. And there's not much else to say about it really. I mean, it's like an SRD is a tool for third-party developers, which gives them the ability to make compatible products with the game system.
Also, of course, you can use it to test out stuff and see how it would run and so forth. So yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, an SRD as a developer tool isn't necessarily as complete as a player-facing. Like, you know, we've got A5e.tools, for example. Yeah.
It's not necessarily as complete as that because it doesn't need to be, because that's kind of, it's not meant as a player reference to be played from. But it can be used like that. And
there's enough there to get
use
you
it.
going. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This SRD, it's like the Wizards of the Coast 5e SRD in that it only has like one archetype, one subclass for each class and things like that in it. So it kind of shows you how to do it rather than gives you the entire rule set and says, go play with that. So it's, you know, it's very much focused on being a developer tool rather than a player facing, you know, free.
I've had a flick through. Like, obviously I have my areas of interest. Did like the monsters. Like, the kobolds look fun. Look me a good kobold.
Well, they are called Kobold Press, I suppose.
Yeah.
I know,
you expect they would have put some effort into those, I guess.
Yeah.
Cannot argue.
Expect no less.
Some top quality kobolds. Yeah, and there's some nice magic items in there as well. There's a common magic item, which is a winged anklet. Once for long rest, it adds your proficiency bonus to your initiative score. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's 50 gold pieces extremely well spent.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, did you see anything you liked, Chris?
I haven't really looked through it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will do at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not. I got to admit, I'm not like massively. It's kind of, you know, it's D&D. It's quite close, as I understand it, to D&D. 5e.
Yes, I think that's right.
Like closer than, say, Level Up is. So it's an alternate version of D&D. Yeah.
That's what they were trying to do. In fairness, I don't think they were.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's in no way a criticism at all. That's what it is. Yeah.
I think I regard Level Up as being really pretty close to D&D, because if you can remember D&D, Level Up. But Kobold Press is this stuff is a lot closer, a lot closer. Yeah. I'll be interested to see what else they bring out. I mean, like, they're using heritages, what we would call cultures, which is essentially where one is brought up.
Yeah.
And like the thing
they've got lineage as what we call
heritage.
Yes.
Heritage.
Which
and
might be
then
confusing anyway.
Yeah, and then and then was it Paizo have Ancestry instead? Yeah, all these different companies are just using this collection of 6 or 7 different words, which all mean the same thing, to refer to different parts of the character creation process, but differently.
I'm just saying, right, if someone were to, drive outside a couple of key locations in Seattle and maybe even give away some thesauruses, that could really help out the games industry in a big way. Because a lot of these, this small cluster of influential companies in Seattle, which is where a load of stuff comes out of, that could really help them out in finding some new words. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. They managed to...
Yeah, I mean, if you want to check out what the Black Flag stuff is about, that's the way to do it. Have a look at the SRDs, see what you think. There's a website as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just sort of PDF documents. There's a website at bfrd.net, which is basically their equivalent of a5e.tools.
BFSRD or BFRD?
BFRD, Black Flag Role Playing Document or Black Flag Reference Document. BFRD.
Right. Yes. Okay. BFRD.
Yeah. So you can see it all there.
Yeah.
In sort of
Not to be confused with the BFG by RD.
That's something entirely different.
Yeah, BFG.
Strangely similar, yes.
Anyway,
sorry, my dyslexic brain was for a second, is that? And I was like, no, it's not the same. Because letters are different. Also, I'm told.
Allegedly. So that's not the only SRD news we have.
No.
Oh, yeah,
we have
SRD.
The other SRD comes from Wizards of the Coast or Magicians on the Beach, depending.
The beach magicians,
on your preferred...
the literal dabblers.
Yeah.
Which is a very geeky term, but please.
So they've told us about what's going to happen to the 2024 D&D Core Rules and the SRD. There is going to be, in early 2025, basically after the Monster Manual's been released, because they don't want to release it before the books are out, SRD 5.2 will be available. And this will include the 2024 version of the D&D Core Rules as an expanded version of the existing SRD 5.1. It's going to be localized into all the languages which Wizard supports, which is nice.
Not Portuguese. Okay.
I don't know which ones they are. Do they not? Oh, of course, yes, we talked about that, didn't we? Yes.
I remembered something that we talked about in our news show.
Yes,
ooh,
amazing.
Showing off now, PJ.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I mean that's all there is to that. Really, basically, there's going to be an SRD. It's going out under Creative Commons. No mention of the Open Gaming License or anything like that. Creative Commons early next year. They did talk a little about, because they promised that they were going to put the older editions of D&D under SRDs as well.
Oh yeah.
And they promised that a year ago, I think it was.
Can't imagine it's the top priority.
I think
it's not their top priority, no. And they've actually commented on this because people keep asking what's happened. You said you were going to do this, but you haven't mentioned it since. They basically says they haven't started reviewing those documents yet, but they're going to do that once the 2024 core rule books are out. So basically, they're going to start looking at that in 2025.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I imagine the team's quite busy getting these new ones out, so
bit short-handed as well. I imagine
it's there's so many retro clones out there now. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure what difference that would make to the landscape. Anyway,
I think if they brought Forfeit out under SRD, that would lead to quite the mini renaissance. That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was part of the OGL promises following that. I think it was to get everything out there, just so it was out there, so it wasn't under their control. I think that was why it's part of that, but. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right then. So I also saw this rumour, and I literally have no idea how much credence to put behind this rumour.
Oh, we love unsubstantiated rumours, though.
In the sense that I don't even know whether I should even mention it.
Is it completely baseless?
But there's this rumour sort of drifting around the internet at the moment that the person behind, and I've got to stress so much that this is unverified rumour. I almost don't want to say it. That the person behind the OGL crisis last year was actually Chris Cox himself, CEO of Hasbro. Now, I don't know how true that is.
What is that? What do you mean as well? What is this rumour saying? Unsubstantiated rumour that
basically he was behind it. He was the one who was trying to push that
through. The rumour is that it's his idea and he led the charge on it.
Yeah,
That's the
but
rumour.
I do not know whether that's true or not. I'm just saying that I've just seen it pop up so many times this week on the internet, and I don't even know where it specifically came from.
Okay. We've heard the rumour online, but we haven't published it on EN Worlds because there's no verifiable source and yada yada.
Exactly.
Should we leave this in?
Well, it's commenting on what people are talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Talking
of CEOs, though, Cynthia Williams.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we found out now why she left Wizards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
She's got a new job.
What's she doing?
She is now the CEO of Funko.
The little pop.
Funko Pops.
Yes. Yes. Which is effectively a promotion for her. So she goes from being president of a division, Wizards of the Coast, to CEO of a another company. So yeah, that's basically where she went. Now we know. The mystery is solved. There's no conspiracy or anything like that. She just got another job.
Would you like some shiny meat? And she said, yes.
Well, apparently it happens.
Well, still waiting to see who the new CEO will be of Wizards of the Coast.
Yes. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone give me some news now, because I've given out some news. Someone give me some news.
I've had something exciting happen this week.
Okay.
13th Age Kickstarter. The second edition. That was pretty big for me. 13th Age, they funded in 6 minutes, so that was pretty cool. Liked it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I will be enjoying
62 minutes, not 6 minutes, but...
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it said 66.
It had a 6 in it.
Yeah, sure, why not? But you boy, pretty damn fast.
Within the first hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their goal was 50,000 Great British pounds as well, so it wasn't like it was it wasn't a vanity... level, what do you call it?
What's that, like $55,000-$60,000?
Yeah, well, they've made nearly £250,000 so far, with 27 days to go.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a good $500,000 job.
At least, I know this has been a most anticipated game on the EM World polls for how many years now? 3?
It has popped up in the poll a couple of years at least. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
But a good while anyway. Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty excited about it. They promised to revise the advice for. They're taking the number of icons from 13 to 12.
Drastic changes.
Don't you sarcastically gasp at me, sir? And they're also going to make the advice for these icons and the icon dice, which are fairly key. Because the thing about 13th Age is it basically assumes that you know how to run D&D, and this is how to make it happen from scratch, because you get people to make characters, which is pretty easy. Roll some dice, and then you could get going. So conceivably, you could get good to maybe 3 hours play if you know what you're doing in a session 0/1 situation, which is for me pretty good because my time is limited.
So they're going with 2 books this time rather than 1. I know.
Yeah. That's pretty good idea, to be honest.
Yeah. So we've got a player's handbook and a game master's guide.
And they've got all the various lore. And one of the other things I really liked about it was, because what I've said, just literally 20 minutes ago, if not less, that I do not care for lore. What I do enjoy is their approach, which is they say, and there's this place here, and here's 8, 10, 13 different ways of thinking about it, which you could use, or you could mix and match, or you could put them into Blender. I'm like, yes, that is more. Think of it not so much as rules, more as guidelines. Yeah.
For those who don't know, do you want to give a quick sort of elevator summary of what 13th Age is?
It's sort of vaguely equivalent to D&D if they said, we don't want any of the boring bits at the end or at the beginning, and we're just going to throw you thick into the action. We're going to go 1 to 10. It's going to be completely nuts, and every time you get in a fight and things start escalating, you whack the most enormous D6 you could possibly find into the middle of the table and shout escalation and increment it by 1 each time as the rounds go by. And if it's not completely crazy, are you even playing it properly? Who can say?
Yeah. I think it's kind of a fork in the D&D roadmap, isn't it? So when they came out with 3rd edition and 4th edition, and Wizards of the Coast turned right and went and made 5th edition, and Pelgrane Press turned left and they made 13th Age. Yeah, so they're both kind of evolutions of the 3rd edition and 4th edition, but they took totally different approaches in different directions.
Yeah,
so I'd say it's as much D&D as 5e is.
Oh,
except it's not got the branding.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like it's made by the creators of 4th edition, and
Yes, and 3rd edition. Yeah,
they took a lot of the problems with 4th edition and said no, and just sort of iron them out, because that's the good thing about iteration.
Yeah, so we've got Jonathan Tweet, who was 3rd edition, and then Rob Heinsu, who was 4th edition.
Yeah.
We've had Jonathan Tweet on the podcast. We've never had Rob Heinsu.
We have had him on the podcast. We have. Yeah. Long time ago, but we have.
It's absolutely great fun, and it's very, very modular in its design. So rather than like just picking, like you've got the class-based concept, and you've got like the just pick everything off a list of skills. So this is sort of like midway in that you've got like sort of blocks of existing skills, and you clunk 3 of them together. Blam! There's your character. Then as you level up, you gain like a feat each level, which will modify something important. It doesn't give you like bonus stats or something; those increase along with hit points, but it increases something key to your game. For wizards, for example, you often take feats which improve your spells, which is pretty exciting.
Well, the things that I like most about 13th, at least 1st edition, not necessarily 2nd edition, because I haven't seen it yet, but 1st edition. Although there is a free preview document that you can check out.
Yes.
Which I haven't done yet, but it's probably worth checking out. But 1st edition, what I liked was one unique thing, which is every character, basically at the top of their character sheet, they have one unique thing about that character.
Yes.
Which distinguishes them basically from every other character. It's individual to them.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
And what they've done, as well, is they've actually taken this and they've provided more guidance and examples so that people can create one unique thing, and it makes it more clear that this is actually meant to affect the game world.
Yeah.
Because that isn't something that's really obvious. Like, I didn't pick up on it when I was doing my characters, and I'm like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense to me. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Please.
It's okay. The second one is the acceleration die, which you've already touched on. The third one is the way they what they do with backgrounds and skills.
Yeah. That's
so I like the idea of basically your background was a cook, so basically that is the skill set. So basically you would sort of say, well, I was a cook, so I know how to bake bread, or I was a cook, so I know how to clean an oven, or whatever, or other
I can use knives.
More useful things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have literally had my actual real life described to me as that sounds like a story, like a background that people make up for their characters when they're trying to justify the bizarre set of skills they have. I'm like, that's kind of harsh, but fair. And would also be so this sort of thing is extremely relatable to me. Like, I've got all these like random skills that I picked up through doing bizarre jobs and experiences and so forth. So I love it. It's really great.
But I do like that broad approach to skills and backgrounds.
Yeah.
And I suppose you have to lean into a little bit of common sense on that. And there's a bit of sort of like
negotiation.
It
relies on like negotiation. It's a constant conversation between the game moderator and the players, which, in fairness, is what a role-playing game should be. Rather
I
than
think
like
so. Yeah.
You've got like this constant back and forth. That gives you that room for drink.
With added bribery via the medium of pizza, I think is traditional.
Yes. All the food of your choice.
Yeah, I mean, I myself am partial to a millionaire shortbread.
Good to know.
Just throwing it out,
Ooh, you're not the only one, Peter. I've got to tell you, you're not alone in this.
Jessica's writing notes furiously.
Keeping it right up there. I don't have a particular snack that's... all snacks are good, which is good to know.
Most snacks are good, I agree.
Good for the folks
Not many.
playing
there are
my
very
game
few
at
foods
UK
that I don't
Games
like.
Expo. Some people have signed up for my game at UK Games Expo. I know.
Nice.
How many people?
Just 2 so far, but still.
That's good. Talking of UK Games Expo,
Yes,
since we're on the topic,
Yes.
and we're going to be there,
we are.
let's remind everyone that on May the 31st at 3 p.m. in the room that is called the
Dice Room in the Piazza Suite.
In the Piazza Suite, we are going to be recording this very podcast, not this one that we're doing
Not
right
this
now,
week's
obviously,
episode.
a future version of this one.
The week at that time. That week,
Yes.
so.
On that day. Yeah.
Although we could just like re-perform this one word for word.
In
live.
3 weeks' time. There we go.
Anyway, we will be at UK Games Expo doing this podcast live. We would love it if you came along, and by you I mean the listeners, because I assume that you two are going to be there. Because if you don't, it will be a very sad podcast.
I'll be there. just pull up a few random audience members. Like,
Yeah.
they fulfill very much the same role that we do. And they
I
quite
mean, that's
possibly
pretty much-
have more insightful views.
pretty much how it started, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
So,
PJ
can't
was
really
just
argue.
there.
Yeah.
Russ
I mean,
found
the
you
one
wandering
thing-
the streets of Southampton with some dice and was like, come in
Yeah,
here.
something like that. Anyway,
You're
so we're
less
going to
inaccurate
be
than you know.
we're going to be recording live. You are very much welcome to come and join us. It will be immensely good fun. There will be no millionaire shortbread.
Oh, will
Will
there?
Ooh.
It's also free.
Maybe.
It's free to attend as well.
And it's free to attend.
Because we were
yes.
asked if there would be a price to it, and we're like, no. I cannot on good conscience charge
We
for
are
this.
not worth anything.
So if anything, if you spent the Friday walking around the trade halls and doing things, it's a chance to sit down for an hour, which is quite nice at a convention sometimes.
Just watching us making a fool of ourselves.
In an air-conditioned room. But yeah, there are signs to where it is. It's on the website, but you come out of Hall 3, and there's better signage this year. Because last year, it was a bit confusing, and that's why we didn't have 50,000 people there. Because otherwise, they would have all been
Or come
there.
and find us on the trade hall Friday morning, and we'll tell you where it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pop along, it'll be good.
it will be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And
What
we're running
time is
lots
it?
of games.
Is it 1:30 or something, isn't it?
3 p.m.
3.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Okay. Don't turn
3
up at
p.m.
1:30. Turn up at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Turn up at 1:30, you'll get something different.
You'll
There
definitely
it
get a
is.
seat, though.
True. Yes.
Anyway. Moving on
Swiftly on.
with that thing we like to call news.
Mm-hmm.
What else have we got? Have you got anything, Jess?
Yes. I'll tell you as well. Sorry, I was just
All right.
picking what bit of news. Sorry. I was just picking what bit of... So, another big bit, which I thought is nice, is Green Ronin have launched a magazine for age role-playing, AGE.
Or magazine?
So, a zine, if you will, a mag one. So the first issue is out. So this is going to be an ongoing, monthly magazine that they'll do, and it'll be new material for the age system. The first issue focuses on Fantasy Age and Blue Rose, and you can get the first issue for just under $6 US, $5.99 on DriveThruRPG or on the Green Ronin online store. You can pick them up there, and so the adventure game engine system. There's going to be more new content with that magazine each month, which is great.
Yeah.
I like
Is it-
a monthly magazine.
Yeah. Is it PDF? I take it. It's a PDF?
Yes. Digital.
Okay.
I imagine on DriveThruRPG they'll do physical ones you can get later as well. I imagine that would be but I know now the PDFs are available on DriveThruRPG.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Adventure Game Engine is their sort of generic system, and there's a fantasy version, a modern version, and a future version, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Or
they
at least
have,
coming.
and there's a Dragon Age with it as well.
Oh, there was,
Dragon
yeah.
Age role-playing game. So yeah, there's Modern Age and Fantasy Age are like the two kind of...
And the expanse
ones.
and stuff like that, that's just powered by it, I believe, as well, isn't it?
Oh, I don't...
Am I
yes,
correct in
it
that?
is. You are correct. It is.
Yeah, so it's their sort of in-house system that they power quite a few things with.
So if you've played any of those, you'll be comfortable with
Yeah.
this. But yeah. So yeah, it looks good. I like a monthly magazine. We do them as well. We've got one for Level Up A5E and one for 5E, and I think it's just nice to be making sure there's new content, there's new ideas.
Yeah.
And innovations happening
stuff
in the
coming
game
out.
system. So I'm glad to see it. I don't play a lot of the Adventure Game Engine myself. I don't know why, no particular reason, because it looks like all the stuff I kind of like in a game system, but
Is that
I've
the one
just
they
not done it
use
yet.
for Expanse? I think also maybe
Yes.
Game of Thrones? Or no, not Dragon Age. Of course.
Yeah, Dragon Age they did, yeah. They
yes.
haven't got the license for that anymore, I don't think, no.
No.
I think that's that one's out of print. But yeah.
But yeah, so that's
Right.
happened. That's some nice news. I like that. I always like when systems that are not Dungeons and Dragons have new content and things coming out.
So I have a news about, you remember the Dungeons and Dragons Red Box? So this is...
I don't recall it because I'm not sure I was alive when it first came out.
1983.
I was not alive.
You were not alive. This was the red box of Dungeons and Dragons, the basic rules set, 1983, with a famous illustration by Larry Elmore on the cover of a warrior fighting a red dragon. Let me show you it. Let me just grab this and let me just show you this. I am sure that you will, once you see this, you will recognise the picture.
I'm sure I will recognise it because it's very classic.
I'm sure you will.
But
Yeah,
you asked me if I remembered it, and I couldn't in good conscience lie to you and say that I did, because...
There we go. Have a look at that.
Yes, I do recognise that.
That picture. That's classic, iconic Dungeons & Dragons picture. So, as part of the 50th anniversary stuff this year, WizKids are making a whole lot of miniatures. There's a D&D Icons of the Realms line, and that includes a load of models based on, like, classic art from over the decades. So, there's sort of Paladin in Hell famous piece, which was done by Dave Sutherland in 1978 in the AD&D Player's Handbook. You may remember that quite iconic piece of art, black and white piece of art. They've made miniatures based on that as well, and a number of other things. But one of the things is that warrior on the cover of the Red Box, who we've only ever seen basically from that angle. We've never seen their face. The warrior's never been named or identified in any way. Until now. I mean, I don't know who was clamouring to know who this warrior was, but if anyone was, we can now see the front of the warrior. And the warrior, it turns out, at least according to WizKids, is a woman.
Okay.
They've made a big muscle mummy.
Yep, most people assumed, and there has been, well, the debate, the type of remarks that I'm sure you can imagine.
Sorry, I just sprayed my eyes. They rolled so hard.
Raging across the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, so...
Yeah, I don't think I need to go into that.
People didn't like that there's a strong woman fighting a dragon?
Some people didn't like. Not all people. Some people.
Oh,
yeah.
Hashtag not all people. Good.
Hashtag not all people.
Apparently, like, long hair is a strictly male only thing now.
Well, yeah, apparently.
Obviously.
But anyway,
Look at me gender
this is one of
bending
10
right now, then.
secret rare miniatures that will be included in this set. And you can see the actual miniature itself. And it's a nice miniature.
It's pre-painted, it looks like, so that's me sold.
Yeah. From behind, it looks exactly like that.
It is a complete replica.
It's like very, very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, but then of course you turn it around and you can see the front there. What is interesting though is that the original artist Larry Elmore has something to say on it.
What do they
This is
say?
where it gets interesting. So, initially, and Larry did edit his comments later, because apparently he was asked this out of context before he realised that they were talking about an actual miniature that somebody had made, and so forth. But he made it very, very clear that what he painted was a man. At least that was the intent. Of course, there's death of the author and everything, and if it's not actually in the picture, it's not in the picture. So, all you see is the back of an unknown warrior, and that's what the picture is. But Larry Elmore says his intent was, of course, for it to be a male warrior, and that's what Gary Gygax asked him to paint.
Well, yeah.
He kind of went a bit, it says that anyone who thinks it's a female warrior is quite crazy. This is stupid. I painted it. I should know. He edited that later just to sort of acknowledge that, people can interpret art however they wish. I
was thinking that pose was very comic book in some respects. Generally, I've seen female. If you were to, say, imagine that person in spandex, then it would look a lot more like the sort of pose I see super heroines or like women superheroes. Yes, those are the words I want. I keep on trying to say supermodels for reasons I don't know why. That's just
the way they're drawn, very similar, to be fair, PJ, in comics.
Do you see what I mean? It's like that pose.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah.
There's an extended leg. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's valid. It's like you're just throwing yourself across there as a dragon is trying to eat your face. So yeah.
I have no doubt that it was intended when it was drawn in the 80s to be a male warrior. Because if it had been a female warrior, she would not be muscly. She would be wearing a bikini, and we would see a lot more of her butt.
Well known
for
painting women, especially in the 80s. A lot of this sort of
are they in a lot of bikinis?
Dragon dance art and stuff like that was done by Larry Elmore.
We're not saying that Larry Elmore would never paint. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, and that's not Larry Elmore's typical style of, I guess.
Well, are they in chain? Are they lithe and in chainmail bikinis?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
the 80s.
That is a thing that's happening on the internet right now, and you can buy. I mean, if you want the original print, you can grab it off Larry Elmore's website. It is a cool piece of art. It's an iconic piece of art. If you want the miniature, you can get it from WizKids this summer, and it's an awesome miniature also.
Yep.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's art. Interpret it however you want. You know, death of the author and all that.
It's an exciting vision of humanity versus the terrible monsters that lurk out there, which is the sort of thing that keeps on inspiring people to be heroes against like terrifying, overwhelming powers of evil forces.
Yeah.
Which, kind of a vibe.
But we talked about the elections in the UK last week, so we won't go back to that.
Okay, anyway, that's that news.
Boy, do I have news for you.
Give me, have I got news for you?
That great TV show. So, not a TV show, but a streaming show. Critical Role.
Which is like a TV show.
It is, but it's not on
Sort
TV. It's on a stream.
It can be on your TV.
Well, no, you have to walk to your local river or stream.
I see. Right. Okay. Right.
That was a good joke. Anyway, okay, so Critical Role. So I'm sure a lot of people listening are aware of Critical Role. So they're an actual play group of famous voice actors that do TTRPG plays, shows, things, Dungeons & Dragons, and other stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're continuing to do stuff and things, but they have also announced the launch of Beacon, which is a subscription service they have for fans of Critical Role. And they've stressed that all their existing streaming content will always be available on Twitch and YouTube. And going forward, they're going to continue to stream on there. This is just an addition, so an extra thing. So you can continue watching as you are now and nothing happens, that's fine. Or if you join Beacon, the service gives you exclusive things and you get access to a Discord server. You get early access to some of the shows. So you get immediate podcast and VOD recordings of the live shows. Get early access to like shows as I mentioned, and you get access to exclusive new shows that they're doing, which are Critical Role Fireside Chat and Critical Role Cooldown.
I see.
So obviously you can keep watching on Twitch and YouTube. There's ads and things on there, or you could pay without ads to watch these things. But yeah, the new shows, they've got Critical Role Fireside Chat, and it's a monthly interview with different cast members. They're going to do live streams to take questions with the members only Discord for like 30 to 60 minutes, and the first episode is going to be on May 21st, and Matt Mercer will be there taking questions. So I guess it's a way for their fan community to kind of engage with the voice actors and the characters on the show and things.
I guess they're going to like cycle through them repeatedly because how many of them are there? Sort of like 6 or 8 of them or something.
It says different cast members. I know there's 6 or 7 core cast members, but then they do have guests on and things. So maybe the week there's a guest on, they might do a. But the idea is that I guess it'll be based on availability as well, because they're also all voice actors and have other projects and things they do. Yeah, and they also have Critical Role Cooldown. Mm-hmm. So that'll be post-show reactions, the team pitching plans for the cast, and things like that. Yeah, so members also get access to pre-sales for events they do in person. So remember that they've done a few shows at, they're doing something at the Greek Theatre in Los Angeles, and they've done a few other bits and pieces. So if you're a member, you get the option to buy tickets first. So and that's what that is. So that seems quite cool. I like that they're still continuing to do Twitch and YouTube for free. So if people can't afford the subscription, they can still access.
How many of those there American dollars would that cost?
So it's a monthly subscription for $5.99.
Okay.
But and they have a 7-day free trial at the moment.
So about $72 a year, sort of thing. Yeah. Right.
So, but I like that they're still doing their Twitch and YouTube, so if you don't want to pay for that, you can still access it via those platforms.
Yeah.
I think that's key to these sorts of models, is having one so that people don't feel like they're
it's like a sort of step up from having a Patreon, isn't it?
It's very much like having a patron. It's very much... Yeah, I mean, that's what exactly it is. You pay monthly for extra perks and features. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, very, very cool.
But yes, they're doing that, so good for them.
Yeah. Jolly good. It is sad that brave Baragor fell in battle.
A staunch ally and a steadfast friend.
And, dare I say, unparalleled in the arts of wilderness lore.
Aye, a finer ranger was never seen.
But life must go on. The Shadow Lord remains undefeated. Now let us meet this new ranger who will guide us through the wilds.
Greetings, new friends. It is a pleasure to meet the heroes who defeated the great dragon Smoog.
Well met. Bryn, is it?
That's right. Bryn by name, Bryn by nature.
What does that mean?
I've never really thought about it, really.
Well, no matter. So we shall look forward to travelling with you, my friend. Together we shall show the Shadow Lord the error of his ways.
Verily, me and my friends shall accompany you on your journey and guide you safely to the Dark Citadel.
You and your friends?
Yes, my animal companions.
Oh, of course. Well, he's our previous ranger.
Ah, bless their soul.
Yes, travelled with a bear. So, what, pray tell, is the nature of your companion?
Companions, my friends. I have 8 of them.
8 animal companions? Is that not rather a lot?
Well, more a menagerie than an adventuring party.
Never fear. I dare say you have not noticed them yet, but they are in this very room.
Invisible animal companions?
No. My companions, who accompany me everywhere I go, are spiders.
Spiders?
That's right, spiders.
Oh, you mean like giant spiders, fearsome creatures who will protect us during the night and strike fear in the hearts of our enemies.
Oh, no, just regular spiders. Well, except Dave. He's a giant spider. See, over there on the mantelpiece, that's Steve. Nathaniel is by the door. Mary under the chair there. Jasper up on the ceiling. Dave is inspecting that room. Incy Wincy is on the windowsill. Aragog on the bookshelf. Yes, there's Betty checking out the closet.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand. These are just regular spiders.
Oh, except Dave.
Yeah, but he is the same size as the other spiders.
Yes, but he was shrunk by an eldritch curse. He's a miniature giant spider.
So he's just a regular spider?
Oh no, he's definitely a giant spider.
So just a very small one?
Exactly!
Look, I don't mean to cast aspersions on your choice of travelling companions, but I fail to see what use 8 regular-sized spiders will be on our quest.
Oh, they all have special skills. You'll see.
What sort of special skills?
Well, Steve is quite the charmer. He could talk the hind legs off a donkey if you let him.
I somehow doubt that.
And Nathaniel has the unerring ability to climb walls.
Well, don't all spiders have that ability?
Oh, no. Mary can't climb for toffee.
So she's actually worse than a regular spider.
Her trivia skills are unmatched.
Well, should we find ourselves in a pub quiz for our lives, I'm sure that will come in very useful.
What are the others? What can Jasper do?
Jasper. He's a master of disguise. Believe it or not, he is actually a grasshopper.
Well, that is actually quite impressive.
Not terribly useful, though, is it?
Not useful? I challenge you to find a disguise artist of this caliber.
It's just that I'm having a hard time envisaging the situation where a spider would be useful, but a grasshopper might not.
Yeah, but never mind that. I mean, who's next?
Well, Dave is a giant spider, as I previously mentioned.
For certain values of giant, up to and including not giant.
Shh. You hear you. You don't want to upset a giant spider, my friend.
He's not a bleeding giant spider. He's a regular-sized spider.
I told you that's not his fault. He's under a curse.
Oh, look. It's like a curse or no curse. You know, I don't think that this spider here,
Dave,
could be described as a giant spider. I mean, if anything, he's a bit smaller than average.
Look, do I mock you for your pointy ears?
I don't have pointy ears.
Exactly.
What?
Let's move on. Look, who else was there? Iggy Wiggy, was it?
Incy Wincy. A poet like no other.
A poet?
And Aragog. Well, Aragog is, quite frankly, fearsome.
Is that why he's lying on his back, waving his legs in the air?
You noticed that. He's demonstrating his intimidation abilities.
Right. Yeah, I'm super scared.
All right. No need to be sarcastic.
Oh, fine. Like, Aragog is scary. Oh, what about the last one? Betty?
Yes, Betty. Betty loves fashion.
Fashion? As in...
As in clothing, yes.
But she's a spider.
So?
But you know what? She's hardly able to model the latest capewear or, don the trendiest new ball gown, is she?
She has a hat.
Oh, look, so she does. A teeny little hat.
So, there you have it. Me, Bryn, and my animal companions. Steve, Nathaniel, Mary, Jasper, Dave, Issy, Aragog, and Betty.
Look, I mean, I don't mean to be rude to, Steve, Nathaniel, Mary, Jay, Jasper, Dave, Incy Wincy, Aragog, and, Betty. But this isn't exactly what I described as an elite team of seasoned campaigners.
What? You'll find no better than Steve, Nathaniel, Mary, Jasper, Dave, Issy, Aragog, and Betty in all the realms.
No, Bryn, what we have here is 8 regular spiders.
How dare you?
Yeah, and with no discernible talent or abilities whatsoever.
I mean, Mary can't even climb walls.
And as for Dave, the miniature giant spider.
What of him?
Look, all we're saying is that Steve, Nathaniel, Mary, Jasper, Dave, Incy Wincy, Aragog, and Betty aren't exactly the intrepid adventuring squad we were hoping for.
Fine. Fortunately, I have a backup squad.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, is it a pack of, loyal wolves or mighty bears? Oh, maybe it's a stealthy panther or an eagle-eyed, eagle, I guess.
Sort of.
Well, Brave Ranger, don't hold back. What manner of beast is this fearsome troop?
My friends, meet Florence, Frederick, Bob, Balthazar, Jemima, Agnes, and Ethel.
I wonder if the Shadow Lord is recruiting.
Malak the Maleficent here. If, like me, you're enjoying this podcast, please consider subscribing on Patreon for exclusive bonus content every week and the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing you are helping to keep the show going. Subscribe at patreon.com/Morrus. There, I said it. Can you stop staring at me like that now? The things I do. All right. Don't forget, patreon.com/Morrus. Can I go now?
Right, back to the news. We got some news of our own. We got the Voidrunner's Codex pre-launch page has appeared as if by magic.
Ooh.
Although there was no magic involved.
No, because
It was purely psionic.
You wrote up the page and I put in all the add-on details and stuff like that, and then we sent it to Kickstarter review, and they said, yeah, that looks like a Kickstarter page. Good job, guys.
Yes.
And now Umut's making it pretty. As we speak.
Nice.
As we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So we're launching in June,
Yes.
after UK Games Expo.
Yes.
We're going to come back from UK Games Expo and launch it, basically. And this is our science fiction set for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, but also compatible with 5e.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful set. It's like 3 books. It's got maps. It's got tokens. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's like probably our biggest, most lavish kind of set that we've released yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And it's all about taking your Level Up A5e games or 5e games out into space.
Yes. So if you want a space sci-fi setting but want to stick with the rule set that you know, boom.
Yeah, you can explore new worlds, you can fight oppressive empires, you can fend off fearsome aliens and wield deadly psionics with this comprehensive expansion, as the elevated text says.
Indeed it does.
In terms of things like adventures, what are you thinking that might be going on?
So there's one adventure with Memories of Holdenshire?
Yeah.
For A5e, so roughly that sort of size.
Yeah.
Designed for character levels 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one adventure called Escape from Death Planet, which basically introduces you to various things like the hacking rules and the starfighter rules and things as you as you work your way through it. So that comes with it. There's 2 hardcover books. There's the Voidrunner's Codex itself, which is kind of player options, all the new heritages, the new classes, and their archetypes, the psionics rules, the hacking rules, and that sort of thing. And also stuff for the GM, sort of like monsters, journey, space journey. Well, there's the Star Captain's Manual that's got all the space stuff.
Okay.
So
is that
that's
part
got
of the
like starships,
as well?
space travel, and space combat is in the Star Captain's Manual.
Yeah. You can pick them all up separately, or they're going to all be together in a box set that you can get all of them. But we wanted it to be an option that if any one particular thing, if you're like, do you know what, I just want the core book and I'm not sure I'm going to play with the Starship combat and stuff like that, then you can just pick up the core book on its own.
Yeah.
Because options. But the box set's going to be pretty. Uma, who's our
gorgeous.
art and layout manager, is very excited because we've been speaking to the manufacturer and he's got ideas for things. So he's been saying to me, could we think about doing this? And I'm like, we could. Do you wanna mock that up? And we'll find out if as long as it doesn't cost ridiculousness.
The cost ridiculousness.
Well, yeah, because we have a price in mind we want it to be for people to buy, and so that means, we can't,
Is that something you can talk about, what price you'd like it to be?
Do you want to release that yet?
Nah, I thought we'll save that.
Okay.
Because we might change our mind. That's the
We're
thing.
still doing
The thing is, as we start adding stuff in, we might change, the price might alter, and we don't want people to like come along and go, oh, where? But you said it was going to be this.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I am just asking. So there's it sounds like you've got plenty of add-ons that you'd like to add to this slipcase.
It depends on what the combination of maps and tokens and all this sort of stuff ends up in there, you see.
So there will be, the core set will be, you can get all 3 books plus your maps and your token set in a box set all together. Each of those items will be available individually and as add-ons, so you can pick and mix what interests you. And of course we'll have the rest of the level up range there, so if you've not picked up level up, you can
do that.
Get everything, or again, pick and choose what you want.
We are very, very, very excited.
Yes.
So this sounds like, sorry to be boring and ask about the nuts and bolts of logistics and distribution, although
I can help you with that. Yeah.
Delve into and people are interested in.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of extra material, which is a little bit of a break from how EM Publishing normally does stuff. Normally, you sell us some books. Yeah, we get some books, and that's all pretty good. So it feels like there's extra bits,
we've dabbled our toes in it with a couple of box sets recently.
Yeah, exactly.
So we kind of, we're kind of figuring out how that works. I think we've kind of nailed that one down now, how we do that stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got the same parts, so we can expect that same sort of
yeah. So same quality,
good.
So we're working with the same partners for the maps and tokens, because we were really happy with how the What's Oldest New box set is out and available. You can pick it up on the website now. The Level Up box sets are on ships, en route to warehouses over the next few weeks to be sent out to people. So that will give you so that's a good example of the quality and the standard that we're having for those things. But yeah, I think it's just nice when you're doing adventures or to have maps and tokens and things like that. And we might even be eyeing up some ideas for some physical tokeny bits and pieces or stuff like that for the Monstrous Menagerie 2 that's coming out as well. We may be flirting with some ideas.
Because I know you've released for the Monstrous Menagerie, you released onto Roll20, like copies of the tokens.
The digital,
Yeah,
digitally we have, not physically.
And certainly the What's Oldest New box set. And I think, also the level up stuff as well. I did appreciate the way they felt. They were good quality cardstock, because sometimes you get them and it's they're a bit flimsy and they feel like
if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I mean, in an ideal world, we'd all love painted minis, wouldn't we? But that just makes the cost so high. It becomes inaccessible as a starter box set. So,
but I mean, failing that, a nice quality pawn or token is quite good. Well, they're not. They are more tokens than pawns, I felt.
Yeah, counters. Yeah, they're little flat counters. So,
exactly. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And can you tell me a bit more about the maps? Because I know maps is something very dear to Russ's heart, especially science fiction ones.
Well, let Russ talk about maps a bit, because you've been commissioning and working on them.
Depending on what actually ends up in there, we're still pricing up the components with our partners, so not 100% sure exactly what's going to end up in them. But basically, all the battle maps that you'll need for the adventure, including the space combat maps. There will be possibly, and we're pricing this up right now, a set of 30 poster-sized, I think we mentioned this last week actually, Starship deck plans.
When you say poster size, what?
Like A1.
A1. These are going to be massive, because they're big starships.
A4, and then what next size up is A3?
It's like
A2, A1, yeah.
A1? Wow, those are...
Possibly. Don't hold me to that yet. We're pricing it up.
There will be digital versions of them for sure.
Yeah.
But the original intent was to have them in the books, but because they're quite big ships and it's quite detailed, it would be nice if these could be like battle maps, so you could have the ship.
Yeah, I mean, they will be in the books.
They will be in the books, but we're wondering if we could also have them as big maps. So we're seeing if we can get it then printed and it be a reasonable price point to be included, or if it's not, we could have them as an add-on that's optional. Because what we want to do is we want to have a core pack with everything that's at a good price, and it's balancing that. But if it's very expensive, we might say, look, there is this available, but it does cost this much, so you can choose to have it or not. Because some people it's worth it, and other people it's not. It just depends. It depends how you play and what you want to do. But yeah, so with logistics and fulfillment, it's looking at all that side of it. So that's the side I'm looking at. So it comes down to the boring realities of capitalism. Were capitalism not a thing, we'd definitely do it.
Well,
but it is.
One thing I know people often do is they use like a digital gaming, partly as a way to defray costs, partly as a way to bring people together without this whole actually having to travel business, which I know in America it can be very onerous.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about the digital release side of things?
Yeah.
But everything that's physical, there will be a digital version of.
So
definitely.
So
the tokens, the maps, there will be a digital version, and the books, obviously. Yeah. There will be a digital version of anything that's physical. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the stuff that we've done before, because it's older stuff that we've updated, there hasn't necessarily been all of the digital assets that we'd have liked to have, because sort of like when you're sort of like something that we originally published, say, like 10 years ago before VTTs were a thing. When we're updating it to 5e, it doesn't necessarily have all those assets. But because this is something new we're designing,
so from the ground
we
up,
can make sure that's included from the start.
Nice.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And if I understand the policy correctly, it's like there's so many virtual tabletops out there, it's not really possible to provide support for, say, any particular platform. Is that right? Is that still how it's going?
Yeah, well, all of our VTT partners will have a lot of our VTT partners do the coding themselves, and they have like an agreement from us that they can do it. So they will have the agreement from us that they can use the Voidrunner's Codex. But we're not including it in the Kickstarter because we don't know what their timeframes will be on them coding it and doing things like that.
Yeah, we don't want part of our Kickstarter to be reliant on somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
and then us getting blamed for, whatever.
So they're a third party in a
Yeah.
Yes.
You're reliant. You don't want to have to rely on them because it's like they've got permission to make it.
Yes.
So look for it to come out. But
and they don't want to be bound by something we said either. It's they are they're licensees basically.
Yes.
Yeah. The licensees, they'll make it on their own schedule, and that will be a separate affair. Yeah.
And I have partners that I teamed up with a year and a half ago that we made agreements with that still haven't finished coding some stuff, so I haven't been able to announce who they are yet. So this is why we don't do it as part of Kickstarters, because there are people that want to work with us and do it, but they have their own agendas and stuff that they're doing, and we don't get to influence that. So I know for ages, because when I first came back to EN, I had a big push speaking to loads of VTT people, getting them to have like level up and what's old is new and stuff, and they were all like, yes, absolutely. And I was like, great, this will be done at some point. And now we're in 2024, and it's like, still waiting on that, but yeah. But I think it's a big thing to do. So it's a lot of investment.
Huge. It was a lot more complicated than people think. Please don't think that. Okay. So
and for our part, we basically release everything in sort of like digital format that people can use. It's sort of like platform agnostic as well.
Yeah.
So if you've got like sort of nice big digital maps and tokens and things like that, at least all that can be used on any platform of your choice.
Stick it in
it'll
Albert
look
Rodeo
pretty
or whatever.
mint, whatever happens. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I guess the dolphin pulling the chariot is Starship Rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about those?
There's a whole book of them. Entire hardcover book of them. So that comes in several chapters. So there's a space exploration chapter, which is akin kind of like the journey rules in Trials and Treasures.
Yeah.
But in space. There is a starship combat chapter.
Yeah.
There's a chapter on building starships. That's actually an appendix, the Starship Construction Manual as an appendix.
Okay. Yeah.
Building your own starships. And there's a big old fleet roster. There are lots and lots of starships in it.
Now, is that available on A5e.tools? Because I know I made a starship using it. I didn't really have any context, but it looked cool.
Not on A5e.tools. So there is one on my personal sort of development website where I tinker with stuff.
Okay.
If people can find that.
Not part of this Kickstarter then, but that support for doing it digitally without having to fiddle around with it.
Yeah, well, basically, the Starship Builder pretty much is done.
Yes.
But it's not on there yet, because we haven't released
it's not on there yet.
But the plan is all this content will also be integrated in A5e.tools as well. But it's not on there now because we haven't launched the Kickstarter yet.
Yeah.
So what the plan is, we'll launch the Kickstarter, and as people are used to, we will give you a PDF copy the day the Kickstarter ends. That will still be like a proof version because we'll still be kind of finalising the proofreading. And what's great about sending that out is if you have hundreds of other people looking at it, they'll be like, I spotted this error. So just like we did with Planestrider's Journal, we send out that copy and then we say, hey, we're still proofreading it. If you spot anything and want to tell us, great. So we've had a few people do that. And then we do the final version a few weeks later before we send it to print, just as a last check.
Yeah.
Because it's
the final version of Planestrider's Journal went out digitally this week.
It did, yes.
Yeah, which is exciting. With all the errata, there wasn't much errata, but the errata that there was.
Yeah, we didn't find that much, but there are a few bits and pieces that that we spotted afterwards. So so we'll do the same thing there.
Okay. Yeah. So speaking of Planestrider's Codex
Journal.
Sorry, I lose track of the synonyms for books that are being used.
Yeah, the Voidrunner's Codex and the Planestrider's Journal.
We got manuals, we got
guides,
journals, guides,
tomes. The next one will be a tome.
Yeah, we haven't got a tome, have we? We haven't got a tome yet.
Can
we think of a pun with Monstrous Menagerie 2 and tome? Tome? No, maybe not. I don't get to name things, funnily enough.
Well, the monster book's a menagerie, which isn't really a name for a book, I suppose.
It is.
It's
a published.
There's a published. It's not a name for a book.
Okay, but anyway.
Anyway, so speaking of the Planestrider's Journal, as we were, I know you've been very keen to maintain its independence as being able to run it as a pure sci-fi game.
Voidrunner's Codex.
Voidrunner's Codex is sci-fi.
That's right.
No, Planestrider's Journal is.
Planestrider's Journal isn't sci-fi.
Yes.
Voidrunner's Codex is
correct.
Sci-fi, but it does seem to feel that maybe there might be options to bring these together. Maybe you could use Planestrider's Journal.
Genre mash.
Alien worlds to explore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all compatible. All compatible. Everything is compatible. It's all it's all the same rule system. It's and very deliberately that we haven't changed any rules.
No.
In order to make the sci-fi rules, we use exactly the same rules. So you literally can mix and match them as you wish. Yeah.
Which is why the book is the size it is. We haven't repeated content that's in the Adventurer's Guide or Trials and Treasures because it's already there, and so it's just all the new stuff that's in the book.
So it's entirely possible that, I don't know, you find a crashed spaceship by, I don't know, journeying to some barrier peaks, and then somehow you're able to retrofit it and then go on a space journey. Is that...
Do you know what, PJ? The limit is your imagination.
I don't know. I can imagine quite a lot. I don't know.
That's why I said PJ's, not yours, Russ.
Okay, fair enough.
I specifically chose my audience for that
statement.
But yeah, no, you can absolutely genre mash and bring different things in and elements of it. And the great thing about A5E is it's very modular, so you can pick out even bits of the rules that make sense to you that you like as well. So I know a lot of people have taken Trials and Treasures and their players are all still running with D&D 5e character sheets, but in the background the GM's just given themselves an easier time using A5e rules.
Because
that's the thing you can do. That's the thing you can absolutely do.
This is so much easier. Yeah. Okay. So I guess another question that is occurring to me is, thematically, we've talked on this podcast before about fantasy versus sci-fi. Things tend to default to fantasy because there's not that many options. There's not that much difference in different kinds of fantasy. There is a certain tendency to say, whereas science fiction can look wildly different. So what particular influences are affecting the art, the content, the vibe of Voidrunner's Codex, would you say?
So I'd say the introduction chapter talks about a number of different genres that you can play in, from space westerns to cyberpunk to space opera to space horror. So all of those, but I think kind of the default position in the book is kind of Star Trek-y, Star Wars-y, but with advice for you to sort of go, okay, I want to make this a bit more space horror like Aliens, or I want to make this a bit more space western like, So I think the sort of default assumption is Star Trek-y, Star Wars-y in terms of tone, and sort of, hardness and softness of the sci-fi sort of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
I think the system as well, because of Level Up, it lends itself to exploration really well. So it's the kind of thing where are you wanting to go out and explore space?
Yeah, I mean, the opening chapter sort of starts talking about what is the size of your setting and how fast can ships go, because this is a massive, massive thing that will affect the setting. I mean, are they stuck to a planetary system, or are they travelling, like, you know, the expanse? Or are they, like Star Wars, travelling across the galaxy in a matter of days? And that makes the two very, very different styles of game. Just that basic decision that you make at the start. Is going to make for two very different styles of game. So we kind of open up with that and say, right, what's the scope of your setting? Like, you know, is it just a planet? Is it a solar system? Is it like, you know, is it a small region of space? Is it multiple galaxies? Can people go across? You know, is it like Doctor Who? Can you go across the entire universe? You know, it's, you know, you make that decision early on, and that dictates very much the tone of your setting.
Okay, sounds good.
And then how fast can the ships go? Is it either you taking hypersleep and travelling for 1,000 years to get to other systems, or are you jumping there in an instant? You know, these make for very different games.
Yeah, very different
100%.
stories.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the question that everyone's been screaming at the podcasting device.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
It's like,
I can hear them right now.
Tell us about the monsters. The monsters.
There are monsters. There are monsters. There are big monsters. There's small monsters. There's some monsters that are in space itself.
Are they giant miniaturized?
That you can actually fight as though they're other ships.
Right.
Which is
giant
kind of
miniaturized ones at all?
Like
the spiders, for example?
You know, I'm gonna squeeze one in before layout. A giant miniaturized monster of some kind. There has
giant
to be,
miniaturized spiders, surely.
Well, we got Paul Hughes to design a bunch of monsters, which was cool. I've done a few, and a bunch of other talented designers have done various monsters. So we've got a range of monsters going from your xenomorph types to void dragons, which can do battle with massive, massive starships, to little wormy things that jump up and infect your head, and
there's a lot
all
of
sorts of
grossy worm parasiticy things, which is quite gross.
Not about a lot of.
Well, one is enough.
Parasitic worms that get in your brains are very current right now. So. What's your favourite or monster most disgusting?
Most disgusting? Ooh.
I don't have one yet. I've not looked through them all, so I'm going to pass this to you, Russ.
It probably is like one of the sort of sluggy, leechy ones, I guess. I mean,
I've not seen the art for those yet, so I don't know. I can't say.
I haven't seen the art for them yet. I've definitely seen the descriptions of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the way that the monsters are such a big range of them. I mean, there's only one. We're not talking Monstrous Menagerie 3 here. No. It's a chapter. It's not a book. Yeah. I would love to do a Monstrous Menagerie or an Alien Menagerie or something. Yeah. If this takes
off. An
Alien
Index or something.
Yeah, if this took off, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Stellar index of weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got lots of drones as well and robots and things in the monsters. Okay. So lots of mechanical things because they're good foes for
mindlessly bashing, to be fair.
Well, there's some things that like this the sort of scientist class is quite good at affecting mechanical monsters.
Yeah.
Especially the engineer subclass archetype is quite good at being able to do stuff to constructs and mechanical and robots and things like that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, like because we've seen the scientist class that's come out has a playtest document, but that's going back, 22, 23?
Oh, that's ages ago. Yeah, it's changed since then. Yeah.
I mean, how would you say the feedback document has helped shape it?
I think it was quite positively received. I think mainly what happened was we wanted to expand it a bit more in terms of subclasses and archetypes and stuff to give more of a range of stuff. I think we kind of like boosted up the different archetypes just to give them a little more identity, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing that we did. I mean, there was a little bit like the scientist wasn't quite as like combat. I mean, obviously it's not a frontline combat class, but you're still in combat. It wasn't quite standing up at first. And we've had to bolster it a little bit just to make it a viable class in combat.
Yeah,
because otherwise...
So you're having fun in a combat.
We don't want the scientist player getting bored.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh, it's a combat session, I'm going to sit in the corner.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
A combat session, I'll get my book.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so obviously, that does bring to mind that there are going to be different classes. Roughly, how many classes, archetypes can we expect in the book?
So roughly, number of classes, somewhere between 3 and 5.
Between 3 and 5, okay.
I think it's 5. between 4 and 6. Sorry, There's
3,
5.
4, 6.
Well, there's 5. Okay,
Yeah, I was about to say, why are you being really vague about this? Like, I went to go look at the Kickstarter page, and I was like, I'm pretty sure we've said, like, maybe I'm misremembering. I thought we'd locked that down.
Yeah, but we have been talking about this for longer than 5 minutes, so
Okay.
feeling a bit vague.
I'll give you some numbers. There are 8 heritages.
Yes.
Oh, nice, yeah.
There are 19 cultures.
Wow, really?
There are 18 backgrounds.
Amazing.
There are 3 destinies.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 classes.
Yeah.
Each of which has, offhand, I couldn't tell you how many archetypes, but on average, probably about 4 archetypes per class. But
wow.
It varies.
Okay.
A couple of them have got a couple more. So we're talking at least 20 archetypes.
This feels like an absolute... I can see why it's spread across 3 books. This feels like an absolutely enormous amount of fresh new content.
There was so much
lot.
content, which is why it was spread out as well.
And bear in mind, this hasn't. It's turning out to be a big book, and it hasn't even got the core rules of the game in it because they're in the Adventurer's Guide.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
So you would need access to Adventurer's Guide or A5E tools or the A5E
You need
SRD.
access to not A5E, but a 5E rule set. Preferably R1, but you can
D&D
use
5e.
you can use for your existing 5E books as well if you wish.
Okay.
Or Tales of the Valiant would work as well if you had that.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Okay, so some sort of 5E equivalent D20 base.
Yeah, because it's compatible with
Yeah.
5e. But yeah, the character origins I really liked because like there are some new heritages, but there's as we said, there's more new cultures and new backgrounds. And I think that was the thing with Space. It's because it's a bigger universe, so you've got more stuff. So that's what's going to be different.
The fun bit with the cultures is basically you're thinking about all your favourite sci-fi movies and books and films and stuff and trying to just put all those cultures in there.
Okay.
So you've got Tatooine there as backwater, or you've got, whatever, all the things that you can think of, they're all in there.
I'm not going to lie, I'm actually honestly quite excited. That is one
I'm excited about it.
favourite part of making a advanced 5th edition character is being able to get like those cultures to really make that difference and make like an old tired concept pop for me. Because you play one dwarven fighter, you play them all, but playing like a dwarven steamforged fighter and a dwarven stoneworthy fighter, very different experiences.
Yeah.
Sounds intriguing. Okay, can you talk about the names of the classes, or are you holding this information back?
I can tell you exactly what they are. Yeah.
Oh.
We have the Scion.
Yeah.
P-S-I-O-N, not S-C-I-O-n. But Poseidon. The Scientist, as it is correctly pronounced, the Scientist.
Get out.
The Scout. The Psi Knight. And the Trooper.
Okay, so it feels like there's going to be quite a heavy focus on psionics in this new book.
There's an entire chapter on psionics.
A chapter, and we got a psionicist a Scion, who is focused on doing weird stuff with their mind. With the influences here, like we've got for Star Trek, I guess like the Betazoids are the one that Spring to Mind has.
Yeah.
Major thing, and for Star Wars.
And in Star Wars, you've got the Jedi, basically.
And that feels like maybe Psi Knight, based on my understanding of how you traditionally like to divvy these things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say.
I think we've seen a copy of the song that's been released in playtest.
Possibly again. That would have been a long time ago.
Again,
It
it has been through iterations.
Do you know? I can't even remember that playtest now. It was so long ago.
I remember it because it was very interesting.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so that was a couple of years ago. So that's changed a lot since then. And we've got like maybe 4 archetypes there. We've got Side Out with another 3-4 archetypes. So Trooper and Scout.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the archetypes. How about I give you the archetypes?
Okay, yeah. Far away.
So, Scion, we've got the Augur, the Mind Shear, the Void Mender, and the Warstorm.
Okay.
So, with this...
Yeah. So, what's it? Augur, Mind Shear, Warstorm, and what was that fourth one?
Void Mender, the healer, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to ask, because the others, I'm like, I can take a pretty good guess at, I don't know, sees into future, hits people with a large amount of psychic damage, and hits everybody with psychic damage, and you've also got someone who does some healing as well.
Yeah, the Warstorm's more like electric blasts and tornadoes and...
Right, yeah.
You know.
Getting a bit of a Stranger Things vibe here.
Then we've got the Scientist, we've got an Engineer.
Okay, yeah.
We've got an Expert.
Okay,
We've got a Hacker.
Oh.
And Inventor.
Mhm.
And the Medic.
Right. Okay. So healing classes are sort of like a subset of Scientist.
Yeah, well, the thing with sci-fi is there's more healing available just generally.
Through equipment.
Just because technology's better. So
Right.
you don't necessarily need a full-on healer class because it's a lot easier to heal.
Yeah. Like it's almost like we got sure, we got a healing potion, we got a healing kit. Bam. Stick the head in an eye bag. Job done. Okay.
Well, especially when you sort of like get into a Starship's medical bay or something like that, and all the really advanced stuff they got there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's the Scientist. The Scout. We've got the Envoy.
Okay. Yeah.
The Scoundrel.
Mhm.
The Miscreant.
Okay.
The Scammer.
Mm-hmm.
The Spy.
Oh. Wow.
The Smuggler.
Okay. Right.
The Sleuth.
Mm-hmm.
And the Star Pilot.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got a lot of...
That's like 8
subclasses.
subclasses, 8 archetypes. That's
1,
pretty
2,
impressive.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8.
And so I guess an envoy would be if you were feeling like a bit of a more of a, I don't know, Leo Organa or more of a C3PO role.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly that. Power of words. Or like a commander type as well. Like I'd say Jean-Luc Picard is probably an envoy, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So a lot of these feel like they're kind of associated with more of a rogue vibe than a ranger. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah, so what else have we got? Cyanite, we have the Soul Knife,
Mhm.
the Praetor,
Mhm.
and the Auditor.
sorry.
Yeah. And I know you're excited hearing that name because you're like, oh,
Hello, I'm here. I'm here to audit your books.
I do love a spreadsheet, so that's going to be me.
My name is Norman, and and the Auditor's like an Inquisitor type.
Okay, but trying to avoid
Or a
those...
Judge Dredd type.
Yeah, but trying to avoid those sort of like horrendous religious overtones that come with the word Inquisitor.
Well, also because we've got an Inquisitor in A5e already.
Okay, good to know.
So Auditor. The Praetor is your classic lightsaber wielding Jedi type.
Oh, okay, right. So the soul knife then?
Manifests like psychic daggers and leaps about.
Right. So just never unarmed.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
And then we got the Trooper.
Yeah.
So we got this. Is it
It sounds interesting.
Armiger or Armiger? How do you even pronounce that word?
Omega, I say.
Armiger.
Yeah. So someone who's
Armiger.
good with weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're all kind of weapons specialists, yeah.
The Demolitions Expert, the Bounty Hunter, the Gunner, and the Operative.
The operative is more like stealthy sniper.
Yeah, that's like
type.
special forces type thing.
So is the Omega then someone who's like more into, I don't know, power armor or something? Or?
Yeah, just lots and lots and lots of different weapons, whereas the Gunner is just really, really good at just shooting things.
I see. So
There is a whole...
free range by the cutlery.
There is a whole chapter we have about equipment as well, which has weapons, armor, gear, cyberware, vehicles. So,
Yeah. So a lot of stuff in this. There really, really is.
Yeah, loads of stuff there. But we'll be...
And I imagine it's EM Publishing, so we're expecting full colour throughout, beautifully laid out, fully indexed, like lots of art, quarter of a page and so forth. So,
We also got 3 new combat traditions as well.
Oh, okay. Right. Are these like sci-fi specific or?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much. I mean, no, I think they probably, well, one of them
I was
definitely
about to say, the Ace Starfighter is
definitely
very much like, I don't know how you would,
yeah, like I wouldn't take like the Galloping Sea or what was
I don't know. I suppose if you're like riding a giant eagle, you could possibly use the Ace Starfighter.
It's not designed for that, I don't think, but I mean, the limit is your imagination, PJ.
But not mine.
But not Russ's.
I mean, you could use a Spirited Steed tradition on, say, a hover bike. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. It's all compatible. Yeah.
Okay,
So we've got Ace Starfighter, we've got Blazing Starglaive.
Say on. What's
your
that
Jedi?
like?
That's your Jedi stuff. That's your
okay.
Cyanite Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mindful Body.
All right.
Which is kind of Well, the description is, while trading blows may be at the core of physical combat, victory depends on more than just brute strength. Those with the wherewithal to acknowledge and leverage their instincts and intuition can often turn the tide of battle.
Ah, psych them out. Interesting. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about character creation. We've got heritages, 19 cultures, incredibly, 18 backgrounds, 3 destinies. We've got 5 classes with just a host of archetypes.
Nearly 40 feats.
40 feats, get
Nearly
out.
40 feats.
Over 30,
Yeah, nearly 40
I had
feats.
written down.
Over
In my
30,
marketing
under
notes
40,
say over
but
30.
Closer to 40 than 30.
Yeah.
Okay. And any that leap out? I mean, that's too many to go into, but any that leap out at you?
I mean, there's a lot of them. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the list. Okay, so Feety McFeeties. Where are they? Scroll. Brazen Smuggler, Hotshot Pilot, Hot Rodder, Mecha Ace, Psychic Prodigy, Techno Savant, Voidrunner. There's Bullet Bender. I like that one. Bullet Bender.
Yeah. Tell us about bullet bending. What does that involve?
That is
Feels very Matrixy.
part of a little synergy tree.
Oh, yeah.
You've got 2 or 3 of those in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that allows you to basically, when you fired a bullet, to actually... what was that film? There was a film that did that a bit.
Equilibrium?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit that. Or was it Wanted?
Wanted was one with assassins where they could actually move bullets mid-flight. Equilibrium was the gun carter one. Okay.
Yeah, a bit like that, yeah. So you can actually move the bullets mid-flight, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of them. And we've got mechas in there as
And
well.
just to clarify, this is only us talking about the Voidrunner's Codex so far. We haven't talked about the Star Captain's Manual or Escape from Death Planet or the Tokens and Maps before yet. So
Well, we'll have to leave something for another podcast. Maybe we can...
Another day.
There's so much stuff.
It's a lot of content, and we've been working on it for a long time, because this idea was...
Over 2 years.
Yeah, over 2 years in development.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's gorgeous as well.
I know it's been a real passion project for you. Because
well, you know I like my sci-fi.
You do like your sci-fi. That is very true. Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing it. Do we have a release date in mind, or is that still TBA?
Early June.
Yeah, when we get back from the UK Games Expo, in theory. Assuming everything's ready to go by then. It's all in layout at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just assuming the layout finishes, because we like to have it done before we launch.
So we like to have the
policy.
layout done, but whilst Kickstarter's running, we're still proofreading and tweaking, but as long as the main bit of it's done, so we know that we've got something
because then we can be 100% sure that at the end of the Kickstarter, like we say, we can give people the PDFs.
Yeah.
But the pre-launch page is up now, so you can just click that and it'll notify you when it launches, so you'll be told directly then.
And over 500 people already have.
Yes. And if you and it actually does help us as well. It helps us if you click the follow button, because the more people that follow it means more other people are likely to see it. So yeah.
It's the power of crowds. So,
Exactly. Get that mob mentality working for us.
Woo.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the Voidrunner's Codex.
Yeah.
That was a big thing we did this week, so you can click the link there. That would be very helpful.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, shall we get out of here?
See you all next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Apparently I now have to read this to you. This is the official podcast of Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG news, which you can find at enworld.org. You can find show notes at morrus.podbean.com or wherever you found the podcast. If you feel like they deserve it, you can support the show on Patreon. In return, you will receive exclusive bonus content. Just go to patreon.com/Morrus. If you're interested in his babbling nonsense, you can follow at Morrus on the Twitter. Send your emails to morruspodcast@gmail.com. Not all of your emails, just the ones you want us to see. That's it. I'm bored now. You can go away. Shoo, off you go. Goodbye. Get out of here.
Oh, look, so she does. A teeny little hat.
Here I am, trying to do a sketch, and these are creased up, like literally weeing themselves, hands in face, How am I supposed to work under these conditions?
Russ,
How am I supposed to work?
Russ knows what's gonna happen.
You're not prepared for the awesomeness of this creature.
With a tiny hat.